All right, today we're jumping into a really powerful way of thinking about leadership, especially for those problems that just feel impossible. Now, this isn't your typical management textbook stuff. We're talking about how to lead when you literally have no map. So think about it for a second. In your own work, in your community, why do the biggest, most frustrating problems just seem to stick around? Year after year, it's the same old story. It's incredibly frustrating, right? Well, the answer might be hiding in plain sight, in the way we've all been taught to think about what leadership even is. You know the drill. We're all conditioned to look to the person with the fancy title, the one at the front of the room, to have all the answers. We're waiting for that hero leader to swoop in and save the day. But here's the kicker. What if that's the exact reason we keep failing? What if looking for a hero is actually making things worse? Okay, so to really get why, we need to draw a really important line in the sand. See, the old leadership playbook, it actually works great for some problems. But when you get to the really complex, messy stuff, it's like bringing a hammer to perform surgery. The bottom line is not all problems are built the same. Okay, so on one hand, you've got what are called technical problems. These are pretty straightforward. The problem is clear, the solution is already known, and you just need an expert to fix it. A surgeon setting a broken bone is the perfect example. But then you have adaptive challenges. And these are a whole different beast. The problem itself is fuzzy, and the solution, well, it hasn't been invented yet. It demands that everyone involved learns and changes their ways. Think about something huge, like chronic homelessness. There's no single expert who can just fix that. It takes a shift from, well, everybody. And this medical analogy really nails it. A type 1 problem, that's like getting a prescription for an antibiotic. Simple. The doctor knows what to do. But a type 2, like heart disease, well, the doctor can help, but the patient has to do the heavy lifting. Change their diet, exercise, you know the deal. The responsibility is shared. And then there's type 3. This is like managing a chronic illness that has no known cure. Suddenly, the patient and their family are the ones in charge. They have to learn, adapt, and figure it out as they go. The doctor becomes more of a guide than a fixer. And this right here, this is the classic mistake that so many organizations make over and over again. We're staring at this tangled, complex, adaptive mess, a problem rooted in culture or deep-seated mindsets. And what do? We throw a neat and tidy technical solution at it. Let's just restructure, or there's a new software for that. We're desperately looking for a quick fix for a problem that just doesn't work that way. So if leadership isn't about having all the easy answers, then what the heck is it? Well, according to this framework, leadership isn't a job title, it's an activity. And get this, it's an activity that is fundamentally risky. Sometimes it's even dangerous. Yeah, let that one sink in for a minute. Exercising real leadership on these tough, adaptive problems means you have to challenge the way things have always been done. You have to make people look at an uncomfortable truth they'd rather ignore. And yeah, it means disappointing them when they come to you looking for a magical, painless solution. And that is exactly why it's so risky. See, it's not the change people resist. It's the loss. Any real change means somebody has to give something up. It could be a sense of competence, maybe part of their identity, or just comfortable old habits and relationships. So when you ask people to adapt, you're asking them to face a loss. And that's never going to be popular. So when you're the one holding up that mirror, making people confront that potential loss, you're basically rocking the boat. You're creating chaos, disequilibrium. And here's the most important thing to remember. When people push back, and they will, it's not personal. It's not about you. It's more like the system's immune system kicking in. It sees you as a virus, a threat to its stability, and its one and only job is to get things back to the comfortable way they were. And this pushback, it's surprisingly predictable. You can almost set your watch by it. There are 4 classic ways a system will try to shut you down. First, they'll marginalize you. Suddenly you're not invited to the important meetings. Second, they'll divert you, piling on so-called urgent tasks to keep you busy. Third, they'll attack you personally. If they can discredit you, they can ignore your message. And the trickiest one, seduction. Your own side, your allies, will try to co-opt you to get you to fight just for them, instead for the good of the whole system. Okay, so if this is all so dangerous, how in the world are you supposed to do it without getting totally sidelined? Well, that's where the toolkit comes in. These are the core practices you need to navigate this incredibly tricky terrain. It all boils down to a simple 3-step loop. Observe, interpret, intervene. That's it. Let's take a look at each one. All right, step 1, observe. And the central idea here is this amazing metaphor of the dance floor and the balcony. Think about it. When you're on the dance floor, you're in the thick of it. It's chaotic, you're bumping into people, you can only see what's right in front of you. But to lead, you have to get off the dance floor and go up to the balcony. From up there, you can see everything. You see the patterns, you see who's dancing with who's avoiding who's just standing on the sidelines. You get the whole picture.
And once you're up on that balcony, you can start step 2, interpret. And this isn't about blaming individuals or pointing fingers at difficult people. No. Your job is to see the different groups, the factions. And then you have to ask 2 crucial questions for each group. What deeply held value are they trying to protect here? And what are they absolutely terrified of losing if things change?
This is how you know you're on the right track with your interpretation. You have to force yourself to shift your diagnosis. Is it really a technical problem, or is it adaptive? Are we framing this as a nice, benign issue when there's actually a real conflict of values at its heart? And are we blaming an individual when we should be looking at the whole system? Getting these frames right is what unlocks the possibility of progress. Okay, so you've been on the balcony, you've diagnosed the system, now it's time to get back on the dance floor. It's time to intervene. But, and this is a big but, your job is not to ride in with the perfect answer. Your job is to manage the heat. Think of yourself as a thermostat for the room. You have to carefully regulate the level of stress and tension. See, if the heat is too low, everyone's comfortable and nothing changes. They'll just avoid the real issue. But if you turn it up too high, the whole thing boils over into panic and chaos, and learning stops. Your goal is to find that sweet spot. It's called the zone of productive tension. It's this perfect, delicate balance where the heat is high enough that people can't ignore the problem anymore. There's a real sense of urgency, but it's low enough that they don't completely freak out and shut down. Every intervention you make should be designed to either raise the heat a little or lower it, to keep the group right there, in that productive learning zone. So when you put it all together, what is adaptive leadership? It's really just this: the practice of mobilizing people to tackle their toughest challenges so they can not just survive, but thrive. It isn't about torching everything from the past. It's about helping a community or an organization figure out what's truly essential from its history to carry forward, and what it needs to leave behind to create a better future. And that really just leaves one final question, and this one is for you. Think about your world, your job, your team, maybe even your family. What's that one stuck problem? The one you've always tried to fix with a technical solution that's really an adaptive challenge in disguise. A challenge that's just waiting for you to step up and lead.